Hello and welcome back to another edition of RABtoons Makes Live Models. Today we'll be continuing making more Final Fantasy XIV Dragonsong War Nutshell models. And today we're going to be making Emmanellain, how do you pronounce that? Should have written this down. I know one of them was Minfilia as well, in her post Heaven's Ward outfit. Just bear with me one moment. Just a smidge loud. Okay, yeah, so we're making Emmanellain, Alisaie, and Minfilia, so let me just copy that. And let's jump right into it. As always, we have our template ready to go. Emmanellain. I suppose that's an easier way of saying it. I wonder how fast I will get a copyright strike for this music. Don't really care though, because obviously it's a live stream. Not that worried about it being taken down or muted or anything. So you'll remember this this dude from Heaven's Ward. He's very much a either you love him or hate him character. So let's put the picture into Flash, because we're old school like that, using Flash still in 2022. One day I'll probably update my style and maybe use more modern software, but for now this will do. So let's put a white background behind him. Square Enix has bigger fish to fry, such as posting billboards with modded characters and official logos. Man, that's true. I don't know if anyone's aware of this, but some Discord has paid for like a billboard somewhere, and it's got like actual Final Fantasy character models that are using mods. It's advertising a Discord party and DJs and all sorts of more illegally grey stuff. So yeah, it's. Let's see how long that billboard lasts. It's a little bit cringe though, like the idea of advertising your Discord like that. And I've also realised I am using the wrong template, because Emmanellain is a Alisaie, which has its own unique template. One of my favourite primal. Well, okay, he's not primal as such. Let's save this straight away. Okay, I guess he falls under Ishgard. Let me know if the music's too loud against my commentary. Okay, now we can officially start. Let's close that. Yeah, I suppose it is just a generic elf template. I have used it for things other than 14, so yeah. Okay, let's make the hair to start with. No, I don't hate snow. So it was annoying when the hairstyles slightly overlap the eyes. Especially if it's a character with quite a few lines and scenes, mainly because it makes emoting quite complicated. because especially here where the eyebrows are covered up, it's quite hard to show emotion in my very simple style. Which is kind of my own fault, but it's just something to note when I'm making these models. I try to keep as much of the eye visible as possible. Sephiroth. No affiliation with Sephiroth. So, hey old baby big. Hi Peter Campy. Wow, you're on. Hey Captain Based. Never looked into it, but I wonder if this guy uses a hairstyle you can use on your own player character, because I swear I've seen player characters with this exact hairstyle. Well, that was fairly simple. Let's colour the hair. Luckily it's quite dark, so the shading will be quite simple. Emmanellain there needs a haircut like he needs a broken nose. Sadly he only gets one of the two. That's true. Slight spoilers. Just couldn't get on with 14. Chuffed you're making these so I can keep up the story. Thanks D2112R. Hey 1999 forever. Yeah, it's going alright today, Wolfram. Just another chill, relaxed day. Making more models and got a bit more animating on the actual nutshell done earlier, so making slow but surely getting somewhere with progress on this nutshell. I've been slacking a little bit. But I'm trying to push myself back into gear. Let's cut it. Oh, did not mean to do that. Alright, what's going on here? Let's lock that. There we go. XIV is one of the best FF games to exist. That's a potentially hot take there. I mean, it's definitely a great game. And yes, I did catch the Final Fantasy XVI trailer, and I'm very hyped. I'm excited for the release, but don't push yourself too hard. I'm taking it easy. That's part of why this particular video has taken so long. I've you know, I have been taking it a lot easier than I would normally. Can't say I remember this current track being from Heaven's Ward. The one that's playing right now, but it must have been. XIV is one of the FF games that exist. Technically true statement. My favourite Final Fantasy is definitely Final Fantasy IV. Right now I'm getting mauled to death by dogs. Okay. I assume you mean in a video game, otherwise you wouldn't be casually chatting into YouTube. Can't help but shake the feeling I've made this outfit before, but just for the sake of the fact that I'm on stream, we'll make it fresh. Can't forget the good old giraffe necks that Elysians have. What's this track called? Down the Up Staircase. I'm actually drawing a blank where this plays in 14. Hello chat people and Rab. Hi, this is Kyle. It's similar to his father's. That's probably what I'm thinking of. I think I'm thinking of Edmont's outfit. I enjoyed the story of 4, liking the story of 5 so far. That's good. 5 is definitely interesting. They're remaking Crisis Core, so that means that one scene in a nutshell didn't age well. Yeah, I know. Massively bummed about that, but that's the nature of Square. I swear they're just trying to make as many of my jokes as redundant as possible. And definitely 2D Final Fantasy IV versus 3D viral. No question there. No question about it. How long... Yeah, how far does this fur go down? Can't forget the weird little sigil on the pin. If you adapt FF Adventure, make the big cat Garfield. Can't say I have any plans to, but just gonna shrink this reference picture a little bit. Favorite RE game? Probably Resident Evil 1 remake. It just got everything right, in my opinion. It's very much I would say a checklist of what to do when remaking a classic game. Yeah, speaking of Final Fantasy IV, does this track sound familiar to anyone? Such a simple but effective track. One of the many reasons I love Final Fantasy IV. Okay, so it's just the lighting that's making this look like it's a two-toned coat, so I won't bother making it two-toned. So those fur parts are connected to the lining. Luckily his undercoat looks quite simple, so this is gonna be a very smooth model. Music for Minfilia in Final Fantasy IV is odd, but in an interesting way. Minfilia is one of my favourite parts of Final Fantasy IV. I just like the idea of a sort of a nation that relies on magic. You know, that's and the fundamentals of their livelihood are based around that. And they're kind of outsiders to the more steampunky oriented empire. So he's wearing heels, it kind of looks like. Very manly. Since he's a minor character, I won't go into too much detail on his boots. Do 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 do. That happens sometimes. I don't know why. It's a weird quirk of Flash, it seems. Fire Emblem in a nutshell, probably never going to happen, I'm afraid. I do not have time to get into those games. Like, I barely have time to parody the games I do want to do. Hey, Chrono Trigger in a nutshell is definitely coming, so please look forward to it. Okay, that's way too bright. Are you thinking of ever doing Shin Megami Tensei or Persona in a nutshell? Thought about it. Can't say I've ever played the games though, so it's going to be a long time before I could even get round to making a script even. So, but I'm definitely interested. They seem like fun. They seem like my kind of games. I just never got into them for whatever reason. And I'd say Persona is one of the series I definitely get requested a lot, so the demand is definitely there. Okay, so lucky I can get away with just using the same colours for these. Alright, why is that doing that? Hello Rab, hello community. Hey XIV. Do 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 do. Oh no, I forgot to colour in his little badge, whatever you would call this thing. I like Sir Frog from Chrono Trigger. Yeah, he's a cool character. He was one of my favourites as well. Well, is a favourite. I mean, I haven't finished Chrono Trigger yet. I'm very close to the end though. Spoiler alert, I've revived Chrono. I accidentally did Black Omen like straight away as soon as it popped up, which I don't think you were supposed to do, based on what people have told me. So yeah, basically got to do all the side quests and stuff that are left over, and I think I'm ready to take on the final boss, I think. Because it sounds like I actually did the final dungeon by accident. Hey, Joy for Mighty Donut. Joy for the Mighty Donut and Chainsaw. Very interesting name. Okay, so usually when I shade these models, what I normally do is I take the pen tool, I change the colour to be transparent, and I go, okay, I don't do that because I need it to be yellow. And I just do a light curve over the thing, and I pick darker colours and, you know, start shading, because the pen tool basically created me a guide for the lighting. But I've actually discovered a trick to this that has saved me a lot of time with these models. I think I need to refine the trick a little bit to fully take advantage of it, but it has saved me so much time, especially when I'm making these commissions recently, because switching colours to do the shading is a massive undertaking. It is very finicky and very time consuming. So what I do is go to the layer, hide others, and that isolates the layer I want. So we'll insert a layer, and I get the lasso tool, and I would do what I normally do, but with the pen tool, but I do it with the lasso tool, and I basically select where I want to shade, and it's selected my selection. Copy that, paste that into the top layer, change that to be completely black, and we change the transparency down to about 30 is normally good. Actually, maybe a little bit less. And then we hit show all, and voila, that has saved me a lot of time with shading the body. The only downside is if I want to, say, manipulate this body in any way, I can't just I have to pick both, and I can't just copy and paste both into one layer, because if you're familiar with Flash, you would know you can select two things, paste it, and it combines them. However, that doesn't work. It does that, which is obviously not ideal. I've not really figured a workaround for that yet, but for lesser characters it works, because I'm not going to be tweening his body in any. I very rarely mess around with the characters' bodies, only when they're sort of bending down, laying down or something, you know, which is quite rare. So not a deal breaker for this new technique I found, but I'm sure with more experimentation I'll come up with a way to really refine that godsend of a time saver that I've discovered. So let's give Emmanellain his arms. Okay, those are a bit too long. Just about there will do. I'm gonna be honest, that Leon model on your banner sucks. Okay, rude. I know this isn't from story, just asking, any plans to do Hildebrand? Honestly, no, because Hildebrand is a parody in itself. I don't know what more I can add to it. So, yeah, don't expect to see him anytime soon, if ever. And there we go, we have Emmanellain. And next up we're going to make Alisaie, but her Heaven's Ward appearance. Now, I know Alisaie is an unusual one because she disappears for most of A Realm Reborn, is absent for basically all of base Heavensward, and then just sort of randomly pops up halfway through the post Heavensward content. So I'm 99% sure this is the Heavensward outfit, but I'm just trying to verify. Let's consult Google. Can't wait for the jokes about Alphino and Alisaie looking alike and Hubert getting confused between the two. Okay, so it looks like I'm correct. That is her Heavensward outfit, because I'd say it's fairly similar to her Shadowbringer's outfit, but I don't know, that could just be me. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to save a little bit of time, because Alisaie already has a model. It's just based on her A Realm Reborn model. Just got to remember which folder I say. Yeah, I did save her as a Scion. Okay, that's cursed. Let's get rid of that. So yeah, this is basically how I store sort of character frame references if I want to reuse them or tweak them or whatever. I only do it for certain characters and I only do it for certain poses. It just saves time in the future, but for the sake of this we'll get rid of them for now. I finally got to watch FFT in a nutshell. I absolutely loved it. I hope you do another one. Yeah, part 2 will be coming after this post Heavensward content, so you shouldn't hopefully be waiting long. Let's delete the okay, now we are going to have to borrow a template. Can't say this is a Heavensward track I remember either. Alisaie went out shopping and it happened to take more than an expansion to finish. I'm going to go with that as my headcanon. Alisaie Heavensward outfit. I'm trying to keep these naming conventions similar, so we'll just call it Alisaie Heavensward. And luckily she wears this outfit all through Stormblood as well. Sounds very Alexander. It possibly is. I don't actually remember much of the Alexander music that isn't, you know, the iconic tracks like Forward and Back and Locus. Creator of Dirge of Cerberus and 15 is the same person that made Stranger of Paradise, which makes sense when you think about it. Do you mean Nomura? Because I think he did have a hand in Strangers of Paradise in some capacity. You're being very rude, Ernesto. For a track I'm not familiar with though, it is a banger, as most 14 music is. And yes, Locust is definitely a top tier track, Wolfram. I agree with you full-heartedly there. So as you notice, I'm taking slightly more care with this model since Alisaie is very much obviously a main character of 14. From this point onwards, few buttons there. No, the guy who ruined FF Versus 13. Tabata. I thought he left Square, so he shouldn't really have anything to do with Strangers of Paradise. I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying what I thought to be the truth. You have a very sexy voice, Hubert. Who, me? I'm not Hubert. If you're talking about Electric Star, he definitely has a sexy voice for Hubert. How I envy that man's vocal cords. So far, so good. This is one of the outfits I was dreading making, because I'm not sure why, because it is fairly simple. Sometimes simple outfits I find are quite easy to mess up, especially if I overthink it. So I've learned to try and just relax when making these models. They're not supposed to be perfect, not supposed to you know, be the end-all end-all. They're just supposed to serve a purpose, which is to say, hey, this is this character from this game, deal with it, and that's their avatar. And it doesn't need to be any more complex than that. And that's a good piece of philosophy I've adapted to for making these models. Because sometimes I do stress too much about making these characters look as accurate and as good as possible, and I get in my head quite a bit. Oh, I meant you, lol, but it sounded like you voiced Ashura and Lalafell from Final Fantasy XIV. I wish I voiced those characters, because our Lalafell voice, he is very talented. The very talented Carl Tatchap. Definitely check out his channel, because he's a very funny guy. That's Tatchap, the voice of Lalafell. I couldn't even attempt to do a impression of his voice, that's how good he is at it. And soon the Lalafell will rise. It just doesn't have the same bite to it that he brings to the role. Button there. I'm gonna guess this is the anti-tower. Might be. I don't know what they need. Because 14 tracks don't just say what they're from, they have unique names. I'm actually pretty excited to see your Emmet design, even though that's 2 expansions away from your 14 nutshells. I actually already made a model for Emmet Selk. If people want, I can quickly show it off when I finish Alisaie here. I made him early because I basically gave him a early bird cameo in one of our Behind the Light nutshells, which is Rochelle's, to be specific. It was a joke about how basically how long queues are if you are not a healer or a tank. That tune there sounded very Endwalker-y, but this should be nowhere near Endwalker. Again, a lot of these tracks are a blur to me because I don't remember specifically where they play. The post Heaven's Ward content in general is a blur to me. I'm not saying it was bad, just it's so long ago now I can't remember specific details. So when I've been rewatching cutscenes to make this nutshell, a lot of the time I've been like, huh, so that happened. I completely forgot about that. So this upcoming nutshell may be interesting to some people. We'll see. I hope people like it. Rochelle's sexy. Did you tell Ger she has a beautiful voice for me? Sorry, typos don't work. I'll be sure to pass on your compliments. Let's just move that over there a bit. Will Rochelle mind explode when Ardbert and Hubert face each other like she wants them both for herself? We definitely have some interesting stuff in mind for the fact that Hubert and Ardbert are going to look similar. So, look forward to that. But it will be mainly when we get to Shadowbringers. It will be touched upon briefly here. Alisaie's weird ice skate boots. Interesting design choice, I never really understood it. I don't know how the hell she walks in these boots. Is Final Fantasy XVII going to be a story, adventure, or an MMO? Well, based on the pattern, it should technically be an MMO because it's been Final Fantasy XI, MMO, then 12 and 13 and 14, another MMO. And then we had 15, now we're having 16. So in theory it should be another MMO, but 14 has been so wildly successful, I don't think they'll be dropping it anytime soon. Brute Justice. This is definitely a track. So with Alisaie, I'm not going to use that shading trick, mainly because as she's a main character I wouldn't be able to get away with not tweaking the body for certain scenes, and obviously it's a simpler design, so I think we can get away with taking time to do the proper shading protocols. But RABtoons, you already told me you were going to pass on my message when I mentioned she had a beautiful voice in the 14 nutshell comment section. Well, I get a lot of comments, I forget these things, I'm sorry. I'll try and remember. Remember, I'm not like a physical studio, I don't see these people in person. It'd be cool if I was a studio though, I could get so much more stuff done. I bet Daikaiju Tony loved this scene. Isn't Cuphead kind of a parody, funny series in its own right anyway? This is such a silly boss fight. Oh, sorry, raid. Set up a Final Fantasy XIV housing apartment as a virtual office studio. It's not a half bad idea. However, I'm currently unsubbed to 14. Kind of waiting for sort of more lucrative content to make it worth my while at the moment. So kind of on a hiatus from playing. Why the hell would you not believe in the sun? What's crazy is people thinking birds aren't real. So that's a body. Oh, hang on, I need to give her a neck. No, I don't know what Poppy playtime is. Same here. I got tired of dripping in limbs of hose, had to take a break and binge some Minecraft. I'm just happy that Hildebrand is back. I've been waiting for so long. Me too. It was such a breath of fresh air playing Hildebrand content again in the newest sort of patch. It's definitely nice to see him again, and he's been sorely missed from 14. It was almost over too quickly, but I blasted through the content because I sort of was that eager, and I didn't even realise I was getting close to the end. But it sounds like they have more in the pipeline, so can't complain really. I was digging that track. Don't remember this track either. I've said that quite a lot tonight. Couldn't even guess what kind of content it's from. The real people in Square you should appraise are the designers and developers, because Square clearly don't know what they're doing. Yes, like many gaming companies, they've made some very questionable decisions lately. Let's give Alisaie some arms. And let's just round those off a little bit to make them less jagged. Is 14 like an FF game that just never ends? Kinda. I mean, it'll end when it stops making money, I assume. So let's assemble Alisaie. And there we go, we have Alisaie's Heavensward model. since she's the main character, let's prep her for animation. So basically I just keep a second set of frames without the arms, so I can just do, I don't know, I can just open up Alisaie's model and go, I'm going to pick my boogers and scratch my arse. I am a mature adult. No, Final Fantasy XI is a weird one because it's still somewhat profitable, obviously, since the servers are still going, but officially the new content has stopped. There are no more expansions or stories. It just perpetually exists now. And you know what? Just for shits and giggles, I'm going to just 'cause I know some people will get a kick out of that. But for real, I won't keep that there. That was just to make an example. So that's Alisaie's model and Emmanellain. Let's do the same for him whilst we're on the subject. Let's get rid of these spare layers. We don't need those. So now he's ready to go. Okay, cool. So that just leaves Minfilia, which is going to be her post-Heavensward outfit. It's definitely an interesting one. So let's get rid of Alisaie, we don't need her anymore. Sorry. Minfilia. Now I'm hoping the picture I need will just be in her wiki. God bless the Final Fantasy wiki. You know, without fail, every single time I go on this wiki page and I see this picture here, I keep thinking, based on the thumbnail, it's from Metal Gear Solid 4. I don't know why I think that. It's just a weird thing I've always thought every time I open up this wiki page. Not so much obviously when you open it up, but just at a quick glance while scrolling through. Anyway, enough of that tangent. That's obviously not a good image. That might be suitable. That's obviously a much better reference, but let's just see if there's any more. Damn, she doesn't even get a gallery, like most characters do on this wiki. Love your channel. Thank you, Martian Juju. Okay, I guess this is as good as we're going to get in terms of references. We're obviously not going to use that one. Let's just see what Google has to offer. Now her hairstyle is quite different from her normal look. But just for the sake of continuity, I will attempt to tweak her original model. Oh yeah, I forgot I did that. Could you imagine if I had left it at that in the actual nutshell? I think we left it there. Again, I am a mature adult. Video Ward, Heavens Ward. So as I said, we're going to use this hair as a reference, but I don't think it's completely the same as her newer hairstyle. Okay, Flash may be out of memory, but we'll let's try that again. Might just be a one-off. There we go. Sometimes when Flash runs out of memory it won't paste images. It's quite irritating. For a moment I thought that last one was the original. I was this close to actually making that her standard model in a nutshell, and I decided against it. I was talked out of it by my creative team. Probably for the best. So yeah, as you can see, the fringe for a start is a lot shorter, so we'll start with that. Where did you study to draw like that? Truthfully, a lot of my art skills are self-taught, particularly my cartooning skills, because art school basically taught me to, you know, try and draw realistic life models, and that was just not really my bag, and I never really got into it. So, basically, when I watch other cartoons, I basically study the style extensively, like in my spare time, and I'd probably say my style is a mishmash of all my favourite cartoons, basically learning the sort of quirks and intricacies of each artistic style to refine my own. Okay, so that kind of curls like that, and she has braids going around like that. I know this is technically my own drawing, but it always feels slightly dirty tracing my own work. Hi, Jack Crawford. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make her flowing hair a separate layer. What's your take on the Final Fantasy XIV billboard? Wow, this has really made headlines, hasn't it? I think it's tacky. I wouldn't do it myself. I admire the balls for them doing it, but I could see them getting in a lot of trouble for it. It'll be very interesting to see which way this goes, because the legality of it is very much... I have no idea what the legality of it is. It's using mods, which they definitely do not like up there at Square Enix. But at the same time, it's just harmless fun. But I'm led to believe also it's advertising illegal DJing or something like that. So I'm not quite sure. Okay, I'm not going to copy those hair ties exactly, so we'll just kind of freestyle it. Yep, those are about even. Again, we're just going to freestyle these braids, hair ties, whatever the hell these are. So, question: dreams in honor? Only on Wednesdays. Maybe at the weekend if I'm feeling adventurous. I know Vecna is from Stranger Things, and that's about the extent of my knowledge. Okay, so she doesn't have a ponytail sticking up anymore. She got rid of that yee ass haircut. Ribbon, that's what I'm thinking, not ties. It's interesting this track is on the post Heavensward soundtrack because it's actually pre-Heavensward. So it took them quite a while to actually officially add it to an official Final Fantasy XIV soundtrack. Just something odd I've picked up on here. So here's what I mean when I say I'm going to make her flowing hair a separate layer, especially as it's quite long. Now, just for the sake of continuity, we're going to use the same hair colour. And there's obviously gaps in the ribbons, so we'll just need to plug up those gaps so the fill tool can do its thing. It would be funny if every time you see the giant ether crystal of Hylian she was just chilling and senses someone coming, so she runs to hide behind it. Oh. That'd technically be a massive spoiler though, so I won't do that. Borrow a colour for the ribbons. Let's get rid of some of these bits sticking out. Okay, there's obviously gaps in ribbons there, so let's fix those. Fill tool is obviously not happy with them. Okay, so the hair was easier than I thought. Let's shade that. Not sure why that's happening. And what do you think of UK Shameless 1999 Forever? I know I watched it myself, I've been recommended it. It doesn't really look like my kind of thing, so I've kind of given it a miss for now. But hey, if I'm ever really bored, I might give it a go. Interestingly, this is also pre-Heaven's Ward, so this one took a while to go onto an official soundtrack release. Very interesting. Okay, so there's obviously a gap somewhere on this hair. Oh, it wasn't. Why was it being like that then? I will never understand this program sometimes. Do 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 do. Love this track. Last question regarding future in nutshells, but are there any plans to possibly bring in Capcom's second biggest franchise, Devil May Cry? Probably not, because again, Devil May Cry kind of doesn't take itself seriously anyway, so I'm not sure what I could bring to the table in terms of nutshell. And when I say stuff like this, I always come back to our Final Fantasy V nutshell. Final Fantasy V didn't really take itself seriously either, so when I made the nutshell, a lot of the jokes I made felt a bit redundant. We all know the controversy surrounding the 5 nutshell anyway, so we'll not dive too deeply into that, but bottom line is, if the game itself is a parody anyway, I don't see much value in putting my own spin on it. Hopefully that makes sense. Feels very cursed to see Minfilia's normal outfit with her Heaven's Ward, Word of the Mother outfit, hairstyle. Yeah, definitely I'll get back to Resident Evil at some point, particularly the remakes. It's just a question of when, not sort of you know, if I'll ever do them. For some reason I never gave Minfilia lips, so let's give her some now. Never gave her eyelashes either. Not sure why. Oh, and I've also never played Devil May Cry. Are you okay, gamers? I'm okay, Velusto. Never played Nier, and don't really have an interest in Nier anyway, sadly, so don't think a nutshell of that will ever happen, TBH. Okay, so let's get rid of her booberific frame. So now the fun part is the outfit, which actually is simpler than I remember it being, so this could be a very quick one. She naked. Yeah, that got your attention, guys. shut that down a little bit. Well, this stream got age restricted very fast. There you go. She is no longer tactically naked. Now, because of her annoying braids. Here's another thing. Do I stick with how comically big her boobs were from the previous model? What do you guys think? Should I keep the same gag boob size, or should I be a bit more modest with it? Well, that's 2 votes for modest. One guy's saying make them bigger. You're a madman. Have to show some restraint here. Tune. Maybe I might make a separate model with the sort of gag size, just as a joke. Do not make them big. Do 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 do. Don't forget her little necklace. Whatever the hell this choker thing is she's wearing. A lot of y'all need Jesus. Okay, because her braids are covering whatever that is, so I'm just going to take a punt and guess it's like a little ribbon. Dragon Quest in a nutshell? Probably not. The ether goes to her booba. P is stored in the boobs. And it's got some little ribbons down here. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. And she's barefoot, which is going to make doing legs very easy. Don't know why she's barefoot. See you later, AOK gamers. Who are you making? This is Minfilia, the Word of the Mother Crystal. Formerly the leader of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Those are technically massive spoilers, by the way, but not my fault. Let's make that a lighter shade of grey. This track is also a banger. Do 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 do. As I said previously in this stream, Final Fantasy IV is my favourite. Carlos. Do 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 do. Her neck is huge. I kind of make the necks big on purpose just so I have more freedom to swivel their heads around. Let me just show you what I mean. Basically, if I want to move the head around, if I wanted to look up like that, obviously, now I think about it, the hair needs to stay down like that. That's basically why I make their neck so big. It's put that back to normal. Wow, Minfilia took a lot less time than I anticipated. Do 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 do. Since I've been so quick tonight, I think just for shits and giggles, let's make a jokey version as well. Just showing what you could have missed out on. I'd like to make Whoopi with her cushions. Blip, 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 blip. I mean, that's obviously not the model I'm going to use in a nutshell. Wink. Maybe, I don't know. I'll ask my creative team for a final vote. Oh, now I have a sad. Because the voice actor for Edmond died last year, so because this track plays when Edmond closes the chapter on the Dragonsong War in his memoirs. Wow, that's all the models I set out to make for tonight. Got done a lot quicker than I anticipated. So I guess that means it's time for doodles. How's it going, Raz? Yeah, not too bad, Jesus. Jesus. One of these days I'll learn. Will you ever make a Final Fantasy Type 0 in a nutshell? I want to see 7, she was my favourite. It's definitely on the cards, I just need to maybe not replay the game, maybe rewatch some cutscenes and gameplay. Save a bit of time. Actually write a nutshell and actually commit to how I want to approach it. Do I want to make Ace the main character and you follow him throughout the whole story, or do I want to pick one of the other cadets? Or, you know, there's a lot of ways to approach it, because it's very much a non-traditional Final Fantasy game in the fact that there isn't really a set main character if you don't count Ace. Aiko with the flute and Irvine with the ukulele. I can't draw someone playing the flute. Sorry, I'm going to abandon that request. Hey, Bori, for hello. How come you have a tick next to your name? Are you a verified channel? Did you watch them turn on CERN live this morning? No. Hmm. I thought that shit was going to blow up the wharf, so I was watching live at work. Did they do another experiment with the Large Hadron Collider? I remember when news of that first came out, everyone was worried it was going to cause some black hole and destroy the world. Good times. Something has just come up, I'm afraid, so I will have to probably cut the stream there, unfortunately. I was doing well for time, but I guess shit happens, really. Yeah, sorry for the abrupt ending there, but just to quickly run through, tonight we made Minfilia in her Word of the Mother Crystal outfit. We didn't make the RABtoons model template. Alisaie's Heaven's Ward outfit, and the ever so punchable Emmanellain. Okay, no point saving that picture since I didn't actually do any doodles tonight. Sorry guys. Hopefully next time. Probably won't be that many more streams for this particular nutshell because it reuses a lot of characters from Heaven's Ward anyway, so no new models to make, sadly. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Sorry to cut it short there, something did just crop up, and yeah, I do have to shoot off now, unfortunately. So catch you all next time, and stay safe.